than a young adult.
Cool. Here's some more cum songs. I wake up with cum on my dick 'cause I just had a wet dream. At night I have to release all the cum inside of me. I've been unable to come on time. My dreams are the only thing keeping my dick alive. Oh, baby, it rips the cum from my sack, whether it's nighttime or during a nap that's in the sun. Our pants are up, baby, we were born to come. Baby, we were born to come.
All right, and we're live. Andy Frasco's World Stand Podcast. I'm Andy Frasco. How's your heads? How's your minds? We are in the van. As you can see, this is how we live, people. We got Sean saying hi out there. We got Jason holding on to the fireworks because we're shooting a music video. We got Ernie over here. And Floyd just does whatever the fuck he wants to do because that's what he does. So we're here. This is short and sweet because we have Josh Blue on the podcast. We're driving somewhere. Tour's been great, summer tour. I'm finally getting over my sickness. Thanks for everyone who's been messaging me about that. Appreciate it very much. But Josh Blue, comedian. We are really excited for him. He won. Did he win America's Got Talent? What did he win, Bo?
Second place or something?
Second place, America's Got Talent. He was last comic standing. He's been on tour with Dave Chapelle. He is the GOAT. And he's from Denver, Colorado. So we had him in the studio. So might as well add our sponsors to this. Dialed In Gummies. Another Colorado-based band. What do you got? Oh, here we go. Thank you. Look at this fucking all-stars lineup. Dialed In Gummies. Go grab them. If you're in the Denver area, they are the best gummies. You know this. I pitch them every week. But for the new listeners who came here for Josh Blue, if you're in the Denver area, I know Josh has his own gummy company and edible company. This is another great company, and you should check them out. Every dosage is perfect. If you want just a little bit, I'd like to take a half before I go to bed, or if I'm like really want to have a moment with myself, I'll take one or two of them. But Skippy, what do you think? You take them too?
Oh my God, they're homogenized. It's the best, you know. That's why. If you get only a little pinch, you get exactly what you signed up for.
See, I forgot that word homogenized. That's why I asked Skippy to say it for me. They are homogenized, and so grab yourself some Dialed In Gummies, and you should watch this one on volume.com, our video sponsor. So if you're a creator, go to volume.com/creator and get yourself on volume.com. We need more live streams, people. We need you to get content out there. It's 2023. You can't just rely on albums anymore. I learned that the hard way. You need content from all different ways, and your music will not cut it in 2023. So you might as well show people how you play live out there in the world. And also they have a bunch of stockpiled, so if you're not a musician and you just want to watch some fun live shows, they got everyone. Daniel Donato, they got Humphreys, they got the whole spiel of stuff. And you could backpile or stock, what is that word? Stockpile. All my podcasts are out there in the world for that too. And you can see, if you want to see how healthy I'm getting from as another week goes by, watch the podcast. Sorry, I can't even talk today, but that's how it goes. We're on day 7 of our tour. We're doing 16 shows in 18 days. We're feeling good. How's the morale in the van? Everyone good?
Oh yeah.
It's only day 2, man.
It's only day 7. This is day 7, right?
Well, that's how much I know.
Very true. So you guys are going to love this interview. Next week, we will do a more extensive opening, but the Josh Blue interview was an hour and 20 minutes. So I didn't want to cut it because there's a lot of gems in it that I think you'll love. You know, touring, it's very hard. And for him to do that with a smile on his face is honorable. So I think you're going to love this interview with Josh Blue. All right, guys, be happy, be safe, be sane, stay inspired, and don't let anyone tell you can't do anything because they're wrong. All right, I'll see you next week.
so.
I'll hit this.
I'm about to get that.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm about to take that sucker down after this.
Yeah, man.
All right. We're here. Josh Blue.
What up, brother?
How you doing?
The legend.
Great.
Wow. Now, you are a legend, bro.
Oh, shucks. You guys.
I mean,
He didn't
one of
deny
the
it.
great comedians in our scene. And, you know, I am a big fan. My biggest comedian that I love is Dave Chapelle. And you've opened for Dave like 50 times.
Yeah, at least 50, man. He's the greatest of all time, I think.
What conversations you guys have together? Like, you guys talk a lot? What's going on?
He's just chill, man. He's the dude you see on stage. He's that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, just an easy hang. For being the biggest comedian in the world, he's just so fucking easy.
Yeah.
It's interesting because musicians usually that big are hard to talk to.
Right.
We're a comedian, they're like, hey, have a cigarette. You know,
Yeah.
It's the other way around. Yeah.
He couldn't be more generous, and his like writer is pretty easy. You know, like you go in and he just has 6 packs of cigarettes and some vodka or something. You know,
Right.
tequila. Like,
The basics.
yeah, all you need to perform.
Yeah. Do you get like the sympathy card because you're disabled?
I mean, sometimes, but like at this point, either you know who I am,
Right.
or you think I'm like some drunk homeless guy walking
Yeah.
by. I live in this dual world where it's like
It's fucked up.
I'm super famous, or people still think I'm a homeless guy.
What's like? Give me a story of when someone's like thought you were a homeless man.
I mean, it happens pretty much like weekly.
Really?
I mean, it happens all the fucking time.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People.
Fuck these people, dude.
People, like, I'll be walking down the street and people will, like, I'll see a couple and then the guy will move his lady to the safe side. And I'm like, hey, man, there ain't no safe side.
Yeah.
I'm going to get your lady. I'm going to get her. You know?
That's fucked up. Even in Denver.
Yeah, it still happens. And like, tour all over the country and world, and it happens every single place I go.
So fucked
When I
up.
was in Paris, they wouldn't even serve me at restaurants.
What?
What?
That checks out for the French.
Yeah.
God, yeah, you're American and
Snobby.
you're disabled.
And I
like,
speak French pretty fluently, so I
Really?
really explain that in French, and they're like, "Get the fuck out of my restaurant."
yeah, I mean, it seems like your dad was a language professor, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you learned a lot of different languages through him.
Yeah, I mean, I speak 3 pretty fluently, but he speaks 13.
What? Like fluently?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which one does he do when he's pissed at you?
He tries to mix them all in together.
He's gonna invent his own language just for being mad.
Oh, he's done that actually. He
Really?
has created languages. He was a professor. He taught French and Italian and linguistics, and
Whoa.
he had his students create their own language.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So, have you ever tried to do shows in French?
I did in Montreal. I was there for the Montreal Comedy Festival.
And you did it in French?
And there was a guy there named Mike Hall, and he owned a French club, and he asked me to come do it. And
Yeah.
I say I'm fluent, but then when I go to do stand up, it was the most terrifying thing
Shit.
I've done. It was like your first time on stage
Yeah.
again, because
Right.
all your tools are gone.
Yeah.
You can't just directly translate a joke.
Sure.
It doesn't work that way.
Right.
So you have to come up with new material. And he just asked me that day. So I'm like racking my brain of like not only what to say, but how to say it
Yeah.
in a
Right.
funny way. And I got some laughs, but I lasted, I think, 1 minute, 38 seconds.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, he gave me
Yeah.
2 minutes.
That's pretty good, though.
Oh, well, that's good for 2 minutes.
Right. So, but yeah, it's terrifying. And I would really like to do more of that because it was so exhilarating.
Yeah, because we had Phil Hanley on the show,
Okay.
and he's comedian. He's like a Canadian comedian. And he said the timing, like, and how they understand jokes are completely different.
Yeah.
Different humor.
Different humor.
Yeah.
What'd you learn? What about like? Because you were born in Cameroon, right?
Yeah,
And how many
Cameroon.
years were you there?
So I don't remember Cameroon. I was pretty little when we left, but we went to Senegal when I was 15. And
What the fuck?
I was there for a whole year homeschooled. So that's why I speak French pretty fluently, because it's a French colony. And then the native language there is Wolof, and I speak that pretty well.
Yeah?
It's my favorite language to speak.
Give me some. Give me some.
Alhamdulillah. It's just
sick.
it's like it's really like playful.
Yeah.
It's also very ball busty.
Really?
Where
That's the
like
shit.
it's all about like busting your friend's chops.
Yeah.
And then,
Why are we so sensitive Americans about being, busting chops?
Yeah, I mean, like, look at Australians or the English. They're always like
shitting on each other.
Yeah, and I love that sense of humor.
Yeah, me too.
That means I like you if I'm shitting on you.
Yes, 100%.
I love it, but it's pretty wild. I mean, then you grew up in Minnesota, right?
Yep.
And that's when you started. You're the youngest of four. So how old are your brothers?
So my oldest brother is 10 years older than me. So he's like 54. And he lives in Vietnam.
Right.
And then my next sister is, I don't even know how old they are. Turned 51 maybe. I don't know.
So how many? You're 5 years younger than all of them, or
Yeah,
like
my closest sister is 5 years.
Yeah, so that's wild. So did you feel like you were always like a loner when you were a kid because you didn't really, your siblings were kind of older than you, or were they close?
I mean, they started going off to college one by one. So you lose one and then lose another one,
Right.
and then but then they did leave me there with my parents when my mom was going through menopause. That was a fucking delight.
Nothing like being only child around hot flashes.
Yeah, dude, it was insane. No, but I've always been like the very social dude, and like I was actually in special education till the 4th grade, and then the public school system was like, we gotta let this guy out into general pop.
Gen pop.
Yeah, he's something's wrong with him in a different way.
But like your brain you're so smart. Like why they putting you into special ed just because of your disorder?
Well, yeah, I mean, because with cerebral palsy, I can't write physically, so I needed a scribe or someone to write for me. And then they told me I couldn't read, so I never did, and so now I can't read.
Right.
I mean, I can read, but like it wasn't smooth and quick like the other kids.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the other kids. There were some dumb fuckers in my class for
You're
sure.
still beating them. It's like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
I could beat them verbally and in a foot race.
It's pretty wild. I mean, like, were you was it hard for you to like kind of like laugh about the disorder? Like, did it take you a while to talk about it? In your comedy bit
when
and
I was in
stuff?
high school, it was like the all-consuming. Like, I'm never gonna find a girlfriend because I got palsy, or just what am I gonna do for a living? But I also it's weird. I always felt like I was gonna be somebody.
Yeah.
Like even when I was a kid, I wasn't worried about it.
Yeah.
Like, and I knew I didn't want to do like a day job and shit. My good buddy in college, after I became a comedian, he was like, "Hey man, I always knew you'd find a way to be successful without doing anything."
You're like, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see you do what I do, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who taught you the chops of comedy? Who was your first inspiration? Like, why did you decide comedy?
So I started doing stand-up in college, but this is really weird. I remember distinctly one time I think it was my senior year of high school, the teacher came in, and looking back, he was super hungover.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't want to teach that day. He's just like, I don't feel like teaching.
Yeah.
And he put on Bill Cosby himself.
Oh, man.
Which obviously you can't like that guy anymore.
Right.
But at that young age, I remember watching it and all the class laughing. And I remember just going, I could do that.
Right.
And I don't think most people watch somebody like a brilliant performer and go, I could do that.
Right.
And then actually be able to go and do that.
Yeah.
But that was my first inkling of oh, that's a thing somebody could really do.
Yeah.
But you don't know that when you're a kid. You just see a comedian and you think there's this entity on TV.
Yeah, or
that's
like
special.
no one really could do it. you
Right.
know?
And then it wasn't until I got in college, I was like, let me fucking try this.
Did you bomb the first time, or did you do good, or what was it like?
So did an open mic on campus it was for music and poetry.
Yeah.
And then I went up there like, what's up, motherfuckers? You know, I was so nervous. Like, that was my big thing. I've always had stage fright. Like when I was a kid, because of the palsy, like everybody's looking at me and this and that. Yeah. And then I just realized, like, I still get stage fright if I have to give like a speech on some particular topic because you can fuck the information up.
Right.
Whereas what I do is I can't fuck this up because there wasn't anything prepared anyway.
Were you ever like a preparer?
I've never, I mean, if it's a big show, I'll write down or like have a bullet point, you know. But I always said this, if I ever like tried doing comedy, I might be really good. But like, people are, oh, what's your procedure of getting ready for the show? I'm like, I smoke a joint.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Drink a couple of Budweisers. I'm more ready.
Who was the first person who thought you were funny that gave you the confidence to like even try an open mic in college?
Well, I mean, growing up, I was always a funny, quick on it guy, you know? So I had a best friend. He had palsy too. And I could make that guy laugh until he would puke and piss. Really? Like, it wouldn't be both, but when you got both of them at the same time, I was like, yes.
Where'd you meet him?
We were in special ed together, and he was the other disabled kid to be mainstream. We were the first disabled kids in the Minnesota public school to go through.
Really?
Wow. So,
were you getting ridiculed through the process?
You know, it wasn't necessarily the kids. It was a lot of the time the teachers that had been teaching a certain way for 20 plus years. Yeah. And then we come in. It wasn't that we didn't understand the concepts. We just had to get there a different path.
Yeah.
Right.
And they couldn't. But I just remember my mom would come to school and make my teachers cry.
Yeah.
I mean, she would get up in them.
Yeah. Your mom was like a tough bitch like that?
Yeah. She was a huge advocate for me, for sure.
Yeah, so she basically probably taught you confidence.
Yeah, I mean, don't fuck with Mama Jackie.
Do you remember any time where some kids were making fun of you when you were a kid and your mom just beat their mom's ass? Or
Well, it wasn't, you know, it was interesting because I feel like I tried to keep a lot of that from my mom.
Yeah.
Because I thought it would make her sad and mad, you know? Because, but like I said, I was always just like in with almost everybody. So I was a guy in high school who could go between cliques.
Uh-huh.
So like, and a good example is at the lunch, I sat at the all black girl lunch table.
Yeah.
So like nobody fuck with me. You know? Like, no,
Let's go.
No,
Our queens.
Yeah.
No one's fucking with Josh.
And I attribute a lot of my comedy to those ladies too, because they were unafraid and they would say the craziest shit.
Do you think they taught you to talk shit?
Yeah, definitely part of it. And you know, like they took me in as one of their own, and that's a cool like. Like, again, nobody fuck with me.
Yeah.
And then I had other friends in all groups. So if anybody would fuck with me, I would just tell the baddest friend I have, and they just
beat their ass.
Yeah, I mean, trip them in the hallway, I mean, all kinds of shit. So I was super not, if anything, I was a bully.
Right.
I mean, because again, maybe physically you're better, but I would just verbally bitch slap you in front of the whole class where you just look like the dumbass.
Yeah.
Have
you ever done that?
Oh, yeah, man.
Give me an example.
Oh, man. So there was a kid in I think it was like economics. I don't even remember what class it was. And he just would be in my ear talking shit.
Really?
And you know.
Like what? What are you saying? Like being an asshole?
Yeah, like making fun of the palsy and you know, I'm like, to me,
what a loser though. It's just like such a loser thing to make fun of.
Well, and that's basically what I did. I was like, listen, man, you know, you're making fun of something that I can't control.
Right.
Whereas you are just an ugly fuck and you're always gonna be that.
Yeah.
And you know, just and other people heard that and they're like, ah!
And they started crying.
Right.
And I've always had pretty impeccable timing.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Is my timing is real good. So,
Yeah.
so like in class, the teacher would say something, and then I would just pop one out real quick. And I never went to detention because they didn't want to send the palsy kid to detention. You know,
It's a defense.
That's fucked up. So what? So your teachers, when you're like stabbing jokes at their shit, they're like, "Fuck this guy."
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember one time I said "fuck" in class, and the teacher was like, "Hey, Blue, do you kiss your mother with that mouth?" And I go, "No, I kiss yours." And the whole class was like, "Wah!" And the teacher was like, "Ah!" He even laughed because the timing was like just instantaneous. I said it without even.
Yeah.
That's back when you could say stuff in schools and not lose your job as a teacher, you know?
You think the funniest people are the saddest?
I don't know, because I mean, I am really not a sad person. I'm a happy person, and I feel like Chapelle is a pretty happy person. Like, fun, and like, you know, I know tons of comedians, and we're dark, but I don't think it has to be born in that. I mean,
So why is there a stigma that all comedians are sad?
because people are jealous.
Yeah.
Because that they're funny
Yeah.
and they're good observers.
Funny
Right.
on command.
Yeah.
too, you know,
It's
just
amazing.
I don't know. I mean, there's definitely a group of sad comedians
Sure,
that
of course.
have, gone too soon. Robin Williams, you know, like that. I mean,
You could find that in any profession, I
Right,
feel like,
any
though.
pro-
You think Chris Farley was sad?
when he
I don't
was
know.
dying, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last half hour, I think he was pretty.
Yeah, this is sad.
Jesus.
Oh,
I don't know.
It's wild. I mean, you talk about like how the reason why I asked that, because you said in high school you're like kind of in this sad, didn't realize you're gonna have a girlfriend, didn't know what you're gonna do. It's like,
Right.
so I'm wondering if like people picked on you your whole life.
I don't know that it was necessarily picking on. Like, I don't feel like I was really picked on too much in that way. Like, I'm a scrappy dude too.
Yeah.
I'll fucking punch you in the head if
Fuck yeah.
if I think I can take you, I'm gonna punch you in the throat.
Yeah.
But
Have you ever gone to fight?
it's usually pretty quick because I'll just punch you and run away.
Yeah. I hear that.
I used to be pretty quick, and I don't fight anymore. But as a kid, you stand up for yourself.
Yeah, you have to, yeah.
And all my friends were able-bodied people, so I was like, I'm not fighting other disabled people.
Right.
So I'm used to getting the real treatment. You know?
Totally.
Friends don't treat you differently if they're your friend.
Yeah.
What about your best friend who had palsy? Was he sadder? Did he had
I
it or
think
no?
he's a pretty happy-go-lucky guy too, but he's more just say like he has trouble walking, but he can write.
Yeah.
So, and he drives a car. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think he's necessarily sad. I think what it is for me that was most discouraging in life is like what we said is people just judge me by the way I walk. They just assume I'm a homeless person because of the way I walk.
So fucked
and like,
up.
I mean, I could be wearing a tuxedo and people still think I'm homeless.
Then I think you're homeless and crazy,
Right.
too.
A homeless guy got a tuxedo.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's the thing is for me is being prejudged. Like
Right.
you just assume I'm this way because of my
Right.
appearance, and cut your hair or your beard. And I'm like, well, I still look like this. Like this is the way I move.
Kind of like racism.
Right.
Yeah. Ableism, I guess.
And the
Ableism?
other,
Ableism, yeah.
yeah. But the other thing about that is, at this point in my life, I just find it amusing.
Yeah.
It's like, if you think I'm this way, I can play that character to a T.
Yeah.
Right.
Man. I will give you a run for what you're afraid of.
Did you ever ask him?
You want to be afraid of me? I'll let you be afraid
Just start
of me.
asking him for money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I do.
You do?
Oh, hell yeah.
Like what? When they start thinking you're homeless, you
Hey, just a couple bucks, man.
I made $30 today.
Come on, man.
I pay for all my gas.
You get
walking around
you get a
downtown.
20 and then you roll out in your little Escalade or something. It's like
Oh, I'm gonna grab an Uber.
Your Uber XL, like luxury.
You drop your iPhone 14 out of your pocket.
No, exactly.
Yeah, but fuck these people. It's like judging a book by its cover. This is what's wrong in our country. I think is this first cover of racism. Like you could tell right away, you know.
But yeah, and there's so many levels of every goddamn thing. You know, I've been kicked out of hotels that I was staying at. Like
what?
I mean that happened in I think it was New York. I went and sat in the lobby to wait for my ride, and the guy came up and was like, "What are you doing in here?" I was like, "Drinking my Starbucks, waiting for my ride." He goes, "Get out." I was like, What are you saying?
Did you like get him fired?
And then it was unbelievable. Like
what the fuck?
I went
What a loser.
I said, "Hey, I'm a guest here." And he goes, "Show me your room key." And I was like, and he goes, "Get out."
What?
So now he still thinks that I just found a key in the hallway or something.
What a weirdo.
What a fucking asshole.
And I looked at the lady at the front desk who had checked me in, and he goes, Is he a guest here? And she goes, "Yes."
Wow.
And then he goes, I don't believe it. Get out.
What?
And I was like, "Oh,
In New York?
Coastal elites.
And, you know, we wrote letters and had lawyers and shit,
Yeah.
but
Oh, good.
nothing ever come of it. But
Right.
you know, you still can.
Embarrass the guy at least.
But the problem with that is he probably isn't even embarrassed.
Yeah, he's
you
too
know?
dumb.
You know, it doesn't. Like again, after I show you the room key, maybe drop the fucking
Right.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, drop the fucking.
Maybe when your coworker's like, yes, he signed the thing I gave him. Maybe believe her, you know?
I'm so incoherent.
What did the
planned this out.
coworkers say?
She looked mortified.
Yeah.
She was like, "What are you doing, man?"
Well, she should. It's like really embarrassing.
And that's happened so many times.
Really?
I mean, yeah, tons of times.
That's fucked up.
So like to
Josh.
me, it's not like bullied. It's more that type of behavior that like
Right.
it hurts. you
Who's
know?
teaching? Who's teaching us that?
We-
Who's teaching our society that it's okay to do that?
Well, I guess I think there's so many things in the news every day about crazy people, and that that's what you're expecting now.
Right.
That's what you see.
Yeah.
And like, you know, again, I'm so fortunate that I see it the way I see it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't hurt me, but I can take it to stage
Yeah.
and, you know,
Yeah.
make it funny. Whereas how many millions of disabled people
Right.
does that happen to?
Yeah.
And they don't have
just
this
go
outlet,
home.
Right.
You know, and then they just like, well, I don't want to go out anymore.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I don't
sad.
wanna- yeah. So, I
Sad,
think
man.
that's what I get to do is go and bring it to the stage and bring light to it.
You're probably a huge inspiration.
But it's still rough. I mean, so the other day, I was at a sushi restaurant with my girlfriend, and we were sitting there, and my girlfriend's bombshell, beautiful, and the server came up, and she had a little cup of white rice, and she put it down in front of me, and she looked at her, and she goes, "I just thought he'd want some white rice."
What the fuck?
And we're like, I mean, and the thing is, she wasn't wrong. I did want some white rice, but like,
You should have put down your credit card.
so then the thing was that we couldn't figure out if she recognized me. It was just like here's a little treat,
Right.
Or she thought my girlfriend was my sister caretaker taking me out of the home for the
Oh
day.
my fucking
to a fancy-
God.
I'm just imagining a scenario where someone's thinking you're homeless, and then a fan walks by and recognizes you as a famous comedian, while the person is thinking you're a crazy
it's
homeless
happened.
guy.
Yeah,
That's happened?
Definitely.
What's that? Give me that story.
I mean, same. Just what he said is somebody's like actively like like it happens at bars a lot where
Okay.
I will get 86 before I've had a drink.
What?
The bartender's like, you're clearly too drunk to be here. And then there's a line of people going, hey, can I get your picture?
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Oh
You're
my.
like, no, I'm too drunk.
yeah. Well, exactly. Well, that usually works to my benefit because then when the bartender does figure out, they're like, I'm so sorry, here's free drink.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
All right.
All right, sweet. Okay.
How? Tell me about the first set you did when you were talking about your cerebral palsy. How'd it go?
Well, you know what's interesting is when I first started in college, I didn't talk too much about it. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
It never dawned on me. Like, I just told stories because I already had the interesting life going. You know, born in Africa,
Right.
lived there, and I was a camp counselor at a camp for inner city youth.
Right.
I was like the only white counselor. And, you know, so I'd tell stories like, you know, I'd tell the kids my name was Chop Saw. And then we'd go canoeing, and the kids would be looking at me and looking at the canoe like, you want me to get in a boat with this dude? Like, fuck that.
I didn't want to get in a boat in the first place.
Yeah,
He's the one in charge of us
Right.
for 3 nights on the river. Like,
Yeah.
Chop Saw, I got ya.
Yeah.
So I'd talk about stuff like that, you
Yeah.
know? And then it wasn't until like...
was this when you were volunteering at the zoo?
No, that was before. The zoo thing was... that was an internship in Senegal.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I heard this crazy story about you, but keep doing this. Keep talking about this.
So I feel like I didn't really get into the talking about the disability till I got to Denver.
Uh-huh.
So I got here in 2001, and I found the comedy scene about 2000, like late 2002. I sort of found Comedy Works and their open mic night, and
Yeah.
I just like, I've never looked back. Like it just like since show one, I've just been. I don't want to sound cocky, but I've just been a star.
Yeah.
Like I have a weird gift. I don't know what it is, but I would shine among other shiners, you know.
Right.
And I still get to do that, you know.
Right.
It's a really weird gift that I have, but I found the scene, and then I started talking because here's the thing I didn't realize by watching other stand-ups, like on videos and shit.
Yeah.
When you're first starting out, you don't realize that they have practiced that joke 100 times.
Right.
Where I thought they were just saying it for the first time. So I would just do that. Like, I would just do new jokes every week. And then somebody was like, hey, man, you know you're supposed to, like, say that joke again and make it better, right? I was like, oh, okay. And then I started diving into the palsy stuff. And what I found is that everybody is disabled in their own way.
Right.
I just have
couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I mean, look at you. And I just feel like
I do look a little touched.
definitely a soft spot
Yeah.
in your head.
Yeah.
So then I realized, like, me being truthful about the disability, it really rung home for so many people because I try to make it, obviously it's about palsy, but it's a greater message than just my specific disability.
And what's the greater message?
Fuck if I know.
I'll tell you in 6 years when my hour's done.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about like people having preconceived ideas of who you are, just by appearance or whatever it is.
So when your buddy or whoever told you, hey man, you should be like fine tuning these jokes instead of just saying, all right, that was funny, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because that's very like, I think Denver would appreciate that because it's very like jam band-esque. You know, it's like you don't work on the same set, you just forget it. And
play the next one.
And people think you're homeless.
And people think you're
Yeah.
So who gave you that advice that you should
you know what? It was a guy that I
fine-tune?
didn't even know really. He was just it was actually like one of my last shows on campus before I graduated.
You went to Boulder?
No, I went to it's called the Evergreen State College in Olympia, Washington.
Oh, my friend went there.
And you can create your own majors. I studied stand-up.
Oh, you could create your own major?
Yeah, so
Very like
my
a hippie
senior
vibe,
year, I created a course where I studied like Richard Pryor and got high.
Yeah.
And then part of the curriculum was I said I'd find my own show
Right.
and do a weekly show for whatever 4 months. And I found this band that was playing a coffee shop, and they wanted me to middle the 10 minutes between the,
Separate,
changing
basically.
the equipment out.
Yeah.
And the first week I did it, there was standing room only in the fucking thing. All my friends, people, I advertised it well, and people showed up, and I did my 10-minute set, and then everybody left.
Whoa, man.
And then,
Let's go. I fucking love it.
And it
Let's
was
go.
and then,
Yeah, fuck those other people
Yeah,
trying
fuck
to
that
make
other.
it.
Yeah, fuck that other guy trying to make it.
exactly.
We're not in this together. Fuck them.
Well, and then I did it again the next week, and the same exact thing happened.
Oh shit.
Oh, man. They're like, maybe you should go
material?
last.
And so it was the guy that invited me to open for him, and then he was just like thinking it was full for him, and then everybody leave. And the owner of the coffee shop was like, "Hey man, they're clearly here for you. Let's have your own night." So every Wednesday I had the Josh Blue hour, and I'm telling you, I did a different hour every fucking week.
Well, you just like
And,
improv
like,
a lot of
Were
it?
you just
That makes me
improvising?
sick to my stomach, bro.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom that.
Right.
I wish those were filmed.
I have some of them.
And now
On
going
VHS.
back, are they still funny?
No, no,
You're like, oh my God.
I can't watch that trash.
It's
man.
cringy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
painful. And I used to sit down behind a table. I wouldn't even stand up. I was so nervous.
Oh, why? Because you didn't want to show your arm? Or
Yeah, I was just like I didn't know how to stand. I didn't know how to have the confidence.
Right.
And but I would just Bill Cosby style tell stories.
Yeah.
And people would be laughing. I mean, I look back at it, it's horrible, but people were. The timing was there. The
Right.
cadence was there. It just wasn't.
Maybe that's like those weekly gave you your confidence.
Right. And then as part of the curriculum, I said I would find a real comedy club and go do an open mic. So I did 2 minutes at the Tacoma Underground Comedy Club.
How'd that go?
And I mean, what I remember is the host of the show, it was like an open mic. So there's probably 12 comedians on.
Yeah.
And they gave me 2 minutes. And I met the host right before he went on, and he was a cop comedian, which in my book is not like a thing.
Cop median?
Right.
Yeah, it's just like every joke was like, I pulled the guy over and then I hit him in the head with my billy club.
You're like, ha ha ha.
That's not a joke, man.
No.
You committed assault against a minority. That's not a joke. It's a crime.
Right, exactly, bro. It was that kind of cringy, like, ooh.
Right.
And then, like I said, I had met him for like 1 second before a show. He asked me like what I wanted him to say about me. And then he does his set and he goes, "Okay, are you ready for your first comic?
Oh.
He's a very special friend of mine."
Jesus fucking Christ.
And I went up there and go, "I don't know that motherfucker."
Go, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
And it got a huge laugh. Like it just like, and then I don't remember anything else I said. I got enough laughs to go, "Oh yeah, that was something."
yeah.
It wasn't killer, but it wasn't like eat shit for 2 minutes.
Right.
But that opening line just, I mean, it got like it claps.
Let's go.
And then
Were you sitting down to that show too,
no,
or
I
were you
stood
building
up.
confidence?
I stood up and I started standing from then on.
Right.
And then I did one last show, like a final show on campus. And the flyer said, "It's not the palsy, it's the pot." That was the name of the show.
I love that.
And then that went really well. And then I moved to Denver on a whim after graduating.
Right.
And I didn't realize this, but Denver is one of the top comedy cities in the country.
Isn't that wild?
I've heard that too,
Like,
yeah.
top, man. Comedy Works downtown, that's one of the best clubs in the nation.
Yeah.
Really?
I played pretty much all of them. And
Before I talk about like the years after college, I kind of want this story is so fascinating. When you were in Africa,
Oh,
you were
yeah.
the volunteer at a zoo, and one day locked yourself in a cage for 8 hours as an exhibit / joke. What was in your mind? Tell me about the story.
so again, this goes, I was still at Evergreen. This is my junior year at Evergreen. and I created a course where I went back to Senegal, which I had lived there. I speak Wolof and French, like I said. My dad knew somebody there that worked at the zoo. I've always been an animal guy. I thought that might be what I was going to do. Like a
What year was this?
This was 99, maybe.
Cool.
Oh yeah, because they were worried about Y2K.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna get stuck in Africa, which would I've been fine with that.
It's a cool country, right?
So I lived on the zoo grounds with the head of security and his family, and they spoke limited French, zero English. It was all Wolof households. So it was like, all of a sudden, I'm just like, well, you better learn some fucking Wolof here. And so basically, I did an internship where I was like an apprentice of one of the zookeepers, and he taught me all this stuff about, caring for animals, feeding them. And zoos in Africa are way different than here.
Right. What are they like?
A lot less restrictions. I mean, day one, I was in a tiger cage cleaning tiger shit up, and the tiger was like, it was in a smaller cage with bars. Every time I'd sweep by it, it would bat the broom.
No fucking. That'd be so scary, dude.
It was insane. I have a recording of that.
Have you ever been bit or anything?
Oh yeah.
What?
I've been injured by more animals than most people can identify.
Like what? Give me all of them.
So I got clawed by a lion.
Jesus.
I'm very
Who hasn't?
There's just the tiniest little one claw mark, but it could have been much, much worse.
Right.
It was a immature female lion that the zookeepers had raised since it was a cub, and they knew it. They let me pet it the day before. Then the next day, I was walking around by myself, and I jumped over the guardrail because I thought I knew it, and it like came up, and it jumped on its hind legs, and it was like taller than me, and I was like, oh, but then it went down and it started purring and rubbing its body along the bars. And I was like, oh, it's purring. So I reach in, and it was like, whoosh, I just see the 5 claws come out, and it batted me. And it was like a baseball bat with nails in it or something. And it
so
just
strong.
hit me right there. One
my
claw.
God.
And the thing about cerebral palsy is we have a very wicked startle reflex.
Oh.
Like loud noises, sudden movements. We just like,
Yeah.
full butt, and I think that saved me because I was like kind of crouched down, and when it happened, I sprung back.
Oh.
And I don't remember jumping back over the guardrail.
So what if you didn't crawl back, he would have ate you?
He probably, there's bars, so he would have been
Right.
able to like just hold me, and
But they're so strong and athletic. Like,
right. I don't know that it could have got its mouth through to bite me, but it could have pulled the arm in to bite or
Yeah.
something like
my
that.
It could have.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I got you.
Sorry.
It could have seriously fucked you up, though. I mean,
This side?
their claws are like razors.
See, you're helping the disabled. That's so kind of you, sir. Do you have any white rice for me?
Do you have any white? Do you have a little bowl of white rice?
I'm actually the co-host to be a Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's how I ended up
Yeah, I
on
love
here.
that podcast.
What So
So,
what other one? Give me another one.
well, let me tell you the craziest part of that thing. So, like, if you fall down or something, your instinct is like look around and
Yeah.
everybody see me. Nobody else saw me except all the other animals in the zoo that could see me, and they were all staring at me like, we know you got hit, motherfucker. Like,
Yeah.
You could cut the tension. That was the creepiest part of the whole thing. Every single animal that could see me was making direct eye contact.
Sounds like the prison yard or
So
something.
the lion, did he bark back after he slapped you, or like he was ready to go for you?
I mean, I think she was disappointed that she didn't get more of me.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I looked down, and it was just one perfect claw mark, but I could see my bone
Whoa.
underneath. And then I didn't want to tell anybody because I was embarrassed I did that.
Yeah.
And then the host mother saw me like bandaged up, and she's like, "What are you doing there?" And I told her what happened, and she lost her shit on me. She was so mad.
Yeah.
And I got a little bit in trouble.
Yeah.
And
So Any snake bites or like anacondas or?
Snake. Oh, there's.
I'm so
South
scared.
America.
Yeah, they have a reticulated python.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck all that.
I was doing a black and white photo shoot of all the animals. That was part of my.
Oh, that's cool.
And they took out this python, and for the photo shoot, I had the Pentax K1000 camera, the old school shutter camera, but I had one of those things you could squeeze it to take the picture.
Sure.
And we had the snake out, and they put it around my neck, and it started like wrapping around my neck. So there's a picture of me like,
Oh my God.
fucking. And I wasn't scared that time because there's 5 zookeepers there, and they peeled them off. The one that really messed me up the most was the chimpanzee, though. That one, like,
they can turn and it gets
mentally fucked me up.
Like, what do you mean?
So they had 4 chimps at the zoo. This one, he was probably a teenage chimp. He was raised in a French family, and they spoke French to it, so it understood. Like, it could do tricks like a dog, but like.
Way more.
But more like if it wanted you to scratch somewhere on it, it would put your hand where it wanted you to scratch and shit. Like
wild.
They're like 8-year-olds or something. They're real smart. Yeah,
super smart. So then, I was, I knew the chimp pretty well. Fed him every day, and got to interact with him. But then one time there was an American visiting the zoo. I was showing her around, like kind of showing off, like flirting with this lady. And I got to the chimp and I jumped over. And the chimp knew that I was using it to show off.
It's like, hey, I'm not your wingman.
It was like that. It was
That's smart.
And there was this thing where you say, "Donne-moi un bisou," which means give me a kiss. And the chimp would like lean in and give you a little kiss. And I was doing that trick for her amusement. And I said it didn't do it. I said, "Allez, donne-moi un bisou." And I leaned in, and then he leaned in like he was going to do it. And then both arms came out. And he grabbed the back of my head and went, and just slammed my head against.
They're so strong,
His head?
My head against the bars.
Whoa.
Boom. And I was basically unconscious on my feet.
Yeah.
And I had a bloody bar mark, like, where it just demolished my face. And I was standing there like, and then the zookeeper saw that. He came running over, yelling, and it only did it once. I mean, it could have just
checked you.
It could have killed you.
It could have just destroyed me.
They're so strong.
They're so smart too.
And then the zookeeper yelled at it, and then it looked embarrassed and sad that it had done it. And then he said, "Come here." To me, he said, "The chimp wants to apologize to you." And I was like, I ain't going back the fuck over there.
Give me some time to heal.
How does the chimp know? Like, bring him over here.
And then I went over, and it looked sad. He looked like he was sad. He reached out and he touched the blood on my face. And then they used their bottom lip as like an appendage. It's like a super sensory thing. And he touched the blood to his lip, and then he went and pouted in the corner the rest of the day. It was really weird.
My dog does that when he gets in the trash.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. Except it smashed my head in.
Yeah. So how'd the flirting work out?
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I didn't see that lady after that.
Yeah, the date didn't work out. She ran out.
That could go the other way, though. She might have felt really bad for
How
you.
long did you last out there in Senegal?
I mean, that time was 3 months.
Sick.
But I went there, like I said, between high school and college for 3 months, and then that 1 year when I was 15.
What diseases are they most worried about, like as a foreigner going to Africa?
Malaria.
Malaria.
I got malaria, actually.
What?
Yeah.
What happened? How did you know you had it?
Because I felt like I had died.
I mean, you get,
Do you like shit blood and shit and all that?
It just, honestly, it felt like I had fallen out of like a 8-story building and then got hit by a Mack truck. Like every single joint was just like throbbing, aching.
You could get out of bed?
Oh no, I had like 104 temperature. Yeah. And then somebody finally like this poor host family probably was like called somebody. Like it was one of my dad's friends. Like, hey, you better come get your white man. He's dying in our house.
Oh my god!
And then I went to the hospital. Oh, this is another funny fucking story. All right, this is full circle. All right, so I went to the hospital. The doctor was Lebanese. He gave me a shot for the malaria in my butt. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, man, if you ever come to the zoo, bring your family and I'll give you a tour. A nice guy, super nice guy.
Right.
Now, fast forward. Remember you asked me about being locked in the cage.
Yeah.
So there's a 400-pound gorilla there named Pakala. I became one of 3 people in the world that could pet this gorilla.
That he loved. Pakala loved you.
Yeah. And I got the idea to have myself be put on display on a Sunday, which is the busiest day at the zoo. And I had my zookeepers lock me in the cage next to Pakala.
Uh-huh.
And I took off my shirt. I was only wearing shorts. And
You just sat there?
yeah, I mean, I had been studying, primate behavior while I was there, just interacting with these guys. And I took a vow of silence. So I didn't talk. I just made monkey noises.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear my cage was there were people surrounding it. Like this is before cell phones and people must have been going out like, hey man, you gotta come see the white man in the cage.
That would have went viral if you did it today.
It would be totally viral. I mean, it was like, and it was one of my best days ever. People were bringing me peanuts and throwing me oranges, and I was eating like a king.
Hold on. What about the ape? What did he do?
He was pissed.
Why?
Oh.
He was jealous that I was getting all the attention and food. So what I would do is I'd get an orange and I'd take a bite and then I'd shove it through the bars to him, and then he'd eat the other half. And then he would collect peanut shells and then get a big handful and just fucking throw them as hard as he could at me.
Really?
And I am the crowd.
So if you were on the other side of that, he would have killed you.
I don't think he would have killed me. I think he was displaying for them. He wasn't really pissed because he was my buddy. I felt like I was in his circle.
Yeah.
I have another story I could tell that. One time I was walking around the zoo and I came around the corner and the zoo was pretty abandoned. There was 5 teenage boys.
Right.
They were collecting rocks to throw at the gorilla.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Just total dicks,
fucking
right?
idiots.
And I came around the corner and hey boy, no diff. Wolof, what are you guys doing? And they were like, nothing. And then they looked at me like, what the fuck is this? And they puffed themselves up like, what are you gonna do about it? And the fucking gorilla ran up and slammed his shoulder into the cage, and it made the biggest boom, and those kids fucking scattered, man. And he protected me from them.
That's
and
shout out to that gorilla.
Yeah.
Let's go.
They're so big and strong.
He's amazing.
Our show pony.
He was amazing. So I felt like there was that connection with him. Anyway, how the whole day was just amazing. I felt like so many things about that day changed my life because I realized I had done something that no one else had probably ever done in the world.
Right.
Being in a cage next to a gorilla on display. And if you take palsy out of context, I already look crazy, but then you put it in a cage with no clothes on. What the fuck is this? And the zookeeper was telling people they captured me in the mountains of the Congo. And they said, it's called me the boo-boo monkey. And anyway.
Would you ever do that stunt again?
Oh, I would love to. I've asked the Denver Zoo if they let me. They're like, no.
They're like, we're going to get canceled if we do that.
Yeah, this. But then I'll just say this last thing. I'm there in the cage eating my peanuts, and the fucking doctor shows up with his family that had given me the shot. And I wasn't talking, and he was I could see him evaluating, did the shot not work? Like, is he delirious? And he's like, do you remember me? And I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
You must have got the
And then I
Johnson
went,
Johnson malaria shot.
ooh. Like I made the symbol of the butt shot that he had given me, and, and then he just like ushered his family away, and I never saw him again.
Oh my God, Josh, you are
It's like an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm or something.
But I'll say this: that to me was the turning point in my life.
What do you mean?
Because like I had said, I was always overly conflicted with the disability and the girls and and then I couldn't have put myself more on display. Yeah. Like, okay, this is what I am. Look at me. I'm half naked in a cage for you to like come and stare at and say things about me and whatever. And it like something in my brain, it sounds so stupid, but I've actually said this in a speech. A day in the cage equals a life on stage. Because after that performance, the rest of the shit's easy, man. It's like changed. It just something changed me.
I'm telling you, man. Got confidence. You fist pounded a gorilla, and you got some African pussy. Let's fucking go. I fucking love it. Let's go, Josh. Let's go. Our guy's living.
It sounds great.
I don't know if I should. I'll clap, I guess.
What?
I'm just scared. I'm just kidding.
My question is, before we get out of the Africa world, do you have time to talk?
Man.
When you say like only 3 people in the world can touch this gorilla, how many trial and errors were there of people dying?
We
to
know
that there's only 3 people
and 12
that can
definitely
touch
cannot touch the gorilla.
Yeah, I don't know the statistics on that. Like all I know is the other zookeepers were like, I can touch him and this guy can touch him. And then I became someone else.
Did he know sign language?
No, but he did smoke cigarettes.
Oh, wow.
Who did?
The gorilla.
The gorilla smoked cigarettes?
It was the craziest thing.
Hold on, that's my dream. I want to puff a cigarette with a gorilla.
So
sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So basically, people would come to the zoo, smoke cigarettes, and then eventually, this was before I was there. Somebody threw a cigarette in the cage, and he mimicked it, and then, that feels great. And then it just became a thing people did. It was like, go to the zoo, give him a cigarette. And part of my job was to like...
What the fuck kind of zoo is this?
Yo, I gotta go to Africa, dude.
Yeah.
This sounds amazing.
I want to fucking throw cigarettes at gorillas.
And part of my job was try to extinguish the cigarette. So they give me a hose, and I would try to like spray the cigarette out because they didn't want it smoking.
Right.
But he had such a big hand, he would hold it like this and just cover it.
Right.
There's no way to get water out of that.
Probably vapes now.
He probably does vape.
Come on, it's elf bars.
So with this confidence, then look at the second phase of your career.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, here.
God damn it.
No worries. I got you.
You got to do it.
I got you.
I can't see it. And even if I could, I probably couldn't do that.
So like now you're getting into the world. Like 5 years later, you're on Last Comic Standing.
Yep.
What? Give me the audition. What happened? Like, why'd you pick Last Comic Standing? Was it?
So
were you starting to get like a rhythm with it?
So I started, like I said, I found the Comedy Works, just embedded myself there. The Comedy Works has a new talent competition, and I won that my first go through. Like there've been people doing it for 10 years, longer, and I just won and decisively won. There's no question. I was the winner in that thing. Right. I just had this buzz going. People were talking about me. People were saying, this is a dude to see. And I'll just say the Comedy Works embraced me. Yeah. They took me in, and I lived a 10-minute bike ride from there. So I was there 6 nights a week.
Sick.
I would just go there. Other people would go out to bars. I'd go to the comedy club, buy 5 Budweisers in a bucket and sit there and watch the show. And they'd whether I was on the show or not, they would just let me sit in the back. And I got to observe the whole scene from the back of the room and watch how the servers interact with the comics. And how the servers talk about the comics after the night is over.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this guy was cool. He stayed out of our way. He didn't try to fuck us.
Yeah.
You know, like shit. And just like little things. And then I get to watch these headliners, you know, Brian Regan, Mencia, all these huge name comics coming through and watch them. I'd watch every show.
So
I'd
cool.
see 5 shows in a weekend, and I'd watch how people would grow in a weekend. Oh, he said it different that time. Oh, this guy said the same verbatim shit. Every fucking joke was the same timing, same placement. And
Would that irritate you?
It does, man. I can't do that. I can't.
Yeah. You've never been like that, huh?
No, I can't. I couldn't even. If you asked me to say the same jokes, I just couldn't physically remember what I said last time, you know? So, but I just got to watch this, like, this whole procedure and machine and, like, how I fit into the machine. Like, I'm a cog that helps the machine go. And then now I play clubs all over the country, and I still feel that way. Like, you're already the machine that's there. I'm just the one that's making it go this weekend.
Right.
Like, basically, you understand how the machine works.
Right.
It's crazy how many different ways there are to do stand-up like that.
Fucking awesome.
Like some people are like that.
And I always say this, too, about, like, being a successful comedian. Surprisingly, like, being funny is, like, number 4 on the list of things you need to be.
Yeah, right. What are the first 3?
It's knowing your surroundings, like, knowing where you fit into the machine.
Right.
So, like, don't do stupid shit that doesn't help the machine go.
Right.
Because you can be as funny as you want to be, but if you fuck up how the machine runs, they won't bring you back.
Right.
You know, they don't want to deal with it. There's plenty of other comics they could book.
They got drinks to sell.
Right.
Right.
And then it's, you know.
Well, I could think about that with my music career.
It's very similar, I think, yeah.
What's the second one?
It's just like being, again, it's like being polite. Like being, don't cause drama.
Right.
Just be part of it. Because I hear horror stories of comedians that are just assholes.
Yeah.
And like, I saw so many comedians that, they sold tickets, but they were dicks to the staff and they were hard to work with. And then I hear the way the club talks about them when they leave. And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
So,
You got to be easy to work with.
and then obviously being really funny helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bo, will you tell those guys to delete the last week's episode? Please. We were just talking shit about everybody last week. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
They deserved it, though, to be fair.
What's your take on shit talk?
I love shit talk. I'm a huge shit talker. Here's my thing. I am the biggest shit talker in the room, but I mean no harm.
Yeah, same.
Right.
That's my thing. I will bust your balls till you don't have no balls no more, but I'm still your friend.
Yeah.
I don't mean it. But I do mean it. You know?
Yeah.
It's a weird line of like,
It's a gray area.
yeah.
What made you decide to go on America's Got Talent in 21?
I won Last Comic in 06.
Yeah.
That was a long fucking time ago. And honestly, my career has been awesome since then. And I would have never auditioned for America's Got Talent on my own. Like, I've already done a reality show. I wouldn't even think that was a thing I could do. But they came to me and asked me to be on it, which is,
It's an inside job, basically.
It's I mean, it's reality TV, so they like to make you think they found you on the street.
Right.
I'm already an established comic, and then another thing is, it was season 16. Eventually, you're gonna run out of unknown people,
Right.
But there is some weirdness
Justin
to
Bieber?
that too. Is like you would never ask, some other comedian that's well known to do it. So there is a little bit of stigma in my mind of being a disabled comedian that they feel comfortable asking me to do the show.
Yeah.
And again, if you give me an opportunity to be on the world's largest stage, why the fuck wouldn't I do that?
How'd you do?
I got 3rd place.
Holy shit, let's fucking go!
Is that the one with, that's Howie Mandel was on that one? Yeah.
So,
Well,
how'd you feel you did on your set?
So I mean, again, it's a weird, interesting show because it's comedy versus whatever.
Yeah. Right.
You know, like, do you think you're funnier than a little girl that can sing Pavarotti?
Right.
I sure fucking hope so. I don't.
Oh fuck, bro.
I felt. I fucking killed it, man. I really did destroy it, and a lot of people said I would have won if I hadn't have already won last comedy.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because people were like, "Dude, you shouldn't be allowed to be on there. You're already established."
Oh, there's some haters?
Yo, yeah, tons of people. were
What,
just saying-
comedians?
no, like people, audience.
Oh, fuck them.
And they're just like, "Why are you allowed to be on there? You've already been." And I'm like, they asked me to be on the
Right.
show. You don't think they know that I've already won a reality show?
Right.
And then, but they don't realize is like a lot of the singers are on The Voice or on American Idol. Like,
right.
They don't see that shit, you know? So-
Yeah.
But honestly, third place, primo, baby, the best spot to be.
I
in.
agree.
No contract.
Exactly. Yeah. You
So
said
the first two, you get a contract?
Vegas
Oh,
or something, or
I had to be in Vegas.
Oh, fuck that. Oh, that's the best of both worlds. You revitalized your fan base. Now you're probably selling out to a different crowd.
Dude, I'm moving into theaters now.
Let's fucking go!
Yeah, dude.
Let's go!
It's great. Man.
I'm
It
fucking
feels
pumped
good.
for you, Josh.
And what's cool is, like I said, my career has been really good for fucking over, almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And then this happened, and now I'm like taking another step up, and just, it feels really fucking good. It does. And ego aside, like we said, third place is great. Did I want to win? Fuck yeah, I wanted to win.
Right.
But the thing that really bothers me about this situation is, do you understand how humiliating it is to lose to a fucking magician?
they are pathetic, aren't they?
Yeah, they're fucking
I've
assholes.
never been more embarrassed in my life.
They're weirdos.
I fucking hate it.
David Copperfield.
Josh, this is unbelievable. So now you're doing theaters. What's the difference in doing comedy in a comedy room versus a theater?
So, I mean, I like clubs, honestly, because it's so much more intimate, and I'm really good with the hecklers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So if you dare to say something to me, I'm going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
But the problem is when you move into a theater, you have to assume for every 200 people, there's 2 hecklers.
Right.
Then you get to 1,500, that's a lot more heckler.
Right.
Where
30.
it's not like I don't enjoy doing it, it just takes away from the show, because if there's 2, I can make an example
Right.
of you. Whereas in a theater, then the next wave comes in thinking they're going to be the one that,
And sometimes in a theater, you can't see them to pick them apart to,
right,
to see
exactly.
see why they're ugly or whatever,
Yeah.
or what they're wearing or whatever.
Let's see why you're ugly.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to do
I know you're ugly, but I don't want to know why.
Have you ever had to do a stadium? Like
I've done, I've done some. There was one in Greeley or something. It was a big. I used to open for Ron White.
Oh, cool.
Sick.
That guy rules.
Yeah, so
But pre ayahuasca or after ayahuasca?
I mean, who knows? That guy's been on so many drugs.
Yeah.
He seems like he's a functioning alcoholic. That's like I
think he's
how
sober
I
now,
feel
though.
I am.
He's sober now.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
sober
really?
now.
That's why
He's
he did the
alive.
ayahuasca and then
Yeah.
got sober.
He rolls the best joints I've ever seen. I know.
Really?
Oh yeah. It'd be funny. We'd be at the theater and we're on his tour bus. I'd be about to go on, and he'd be like, "You want me to roll you a couple joints for when you come off?"
Aw.
Yeah, Ron White, I do.
That's fucking amazing.
Please.
God, you've had such a life. Well, you said it all, Josh. Thank you so much for being here. By the way, broccoli rules.
Oh,
Your
thanks.
special fucking rules,
Oh,
bro.
thanks, man.
I'm obsessed with
Where
it.
can you watch it?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And I just filmed my 5th hour special. in
What's it
January.
about? Don't
more of the same.
Yeah.
It's called Freak Accident.
Yeah.
And then, I'm not sure where that's going to come out, but we're in the editing process now.
How many shows do you have to do of that special until you feel comfortable recording it?
Usually I give it about 2 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
word. Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
That seems like
But didn't that piss you off because you don't like doing the same show every night?
Well, that's the thing about it, is that it constantly evolves and
Okay,
jokes. I think jokes get better, and I do a lot of callbacks. So then I find new ways to tie it together. So it's constantly evolving.
Cool.
Sometimes if I come up with a joke that I really love early on in the 2-year process, I'll shelve it for a while. And then bring it back for the special so it feels new again for me.
When are you going? When are you playing Comedy Works?
July 4th, right?
July 2nd and 3rd.
Okay.
Yep, that weekend.
Cool.
You better come. Oh yeah, and let me show people this thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's do it.
Where did you record your newest special?
Oh mother.
Do you need help?
I got it.
Yeah,
it's a Christmas miracle.
Where'd you record your special?
At Comedy Works South.
Oh, cool.
So home club, and then Broccoli was filmed at Comedy Works downtown.
I love it.
Yeah. Anyway,
so now you're also in the weed game.
Yeah, Josh Blue's Dream. They're in the stores and dispensaries. They are in Colorado and Missouri as well.
Let's go. You even let Missouri a little piece of the pie.
Hell yeah.
My guy's a mogul.
Yeah, baby.
Paralympics.
Get a weed
comedian.
Gorilla talker.
Gorilla, like Cesar Chavez for gorillas.
Yeah, man.
That's so wild. That gorilla thing is wild. He loved you, and he was getting pissed that you were getting more fame than him.
I'll send you some pictures, man.
I can relate.
I would love that. Like, oh yeah, he's the funniest guy in our podcast, and my name's the show. I'm the gorilla.
You're the good-looking guy, though.
So where can you buy this?
Oh yeah, so they're in dispensaries all over Denver and Colorado. I think they're in 40 different dispensaries. So I know Spark has them, so check it out there.
Awesome. Right. And while we're at it, we should because this show is sponsored by Dialed In Gummies.
Speaking of edibles,
this has been such an amazing interview. I don't even think we need an opening.
No, I don't think we do.
Dialed In Gummies. Go grab yourself some Dialed In Gummies if you're in the Denver area. If these are all sold out, they probably will be because this guy's a goat. You'll probably have to get.
Or you
some
can get
Dialed In
both.
Gummies.
They're different things.
Yeah, they're different. Yeah,
you know Dialed In Gummies?
I believe I've had some.
Fire,
I can't quite remember.
Yeah, Denver's.
They're two different things. You can get both.
Grab yourself some Dialed In Gummies. Grab yourself some Josh Blue's Dream, and it's the best. All right, guys, we've said it all. I have 2 more questions. I'll let you go. Do you regret anything?
I regret being sad when I was a kid about palsy.
Yeah,
like I really think I could have been just enjoying life instead of fretting about what could be and what. You know?
Right.
Yeah. So
it breaks my heart too, bud.
Oh, it's all good. I'm high now.
Let's go. Yeah. He's selling out theaters, haters. Yeah. Suck it. Suck it, haters.
You think he's homeless? You can't even afford to get into his show.
Yeah, you can't even afford to get into his show, bitch.
Losers.
Yeah, don't you ever fucking call him.
You can't have one of the suckers either.
Yeah, no, we're not. Yeah.
They're not for you.
Not for
ableist.
you. Ableist. Assholes.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Really
service fees. I mean, there's a lot of service fees.
Yeah.
I feel protected.
Yeah, we got you.
I got you. I'll be the gorilla. I'll be your new gorilla.
Yeah, cool.
I got you. We got you.
I can see
that. My last question is, Josh, when it's all said and done, and we are just a speckle in time of sand, and that just gets winded into wherever we go to. What do you want to be remembered by?
I think just a dude that loved life and like embraced the shit out of so many things, and like I would say I want to leave my stain on the planet.
Let's go.
You know, I just want you to see all the things I've done, and with or without cerebral palsy, I've done a lot more shit than most people will ever do.
True.
So I think it's cool that I have that legacy, and again, palsy aside, but then when you put palsy into that fact, you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not even disabled and I can't do my laundry.
Right.
Or whatever.
Yeah. You're like an astronaut or something.
Yeah.
That's next.
From Paralympic
to
astronaut. Josh Blue will do it all before the end of his life.
Astronaut.
Fucking A.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
Why not dream like that?
Yeah,
why are people afraid to dream like that?
I think they've been taught that it's impossible to do things. And that's also, I think that's the truth, is like, people always say, you're so inspirational. I wish I could do whatever it is I love to do. I'm like, well, then fucking do it. Like,
you can.
The only thing that's stopping you is you saying you can't do it.
Right.
You want to be a painter? Buy some fucking paints.
Yeah.
Right.
Doesn't have to be good. Just do it.
Yeah. You don't have to be a famous painter. You can just be a painter.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you heard it. I'm going to be a pitcher for a minor league baseball team.
It doesn't quite work like that. You have to,
you don't have a fucking chance.
yeah, I think
Let's aim your sights a little. Let's get more realistic.
Calm down, Koufax.
I doubt you could flip burgers, bro.
Yeah. I would love to see you work a normal job for like 4 hours.
No, it's not
Local Jewish man dies from 4 hours of honest work.
Mushrooms too strong.
I had a panic attack. I had to call my friend Phyllis to come stay at my house because my mouth was dry.
Yeah, you're not going to be a pitcher, man.
Wait, what?
I didn't tell
We'll
you.
save that for when it's just me and you. Because I already got 20 minutes loaded on that.
Okay, guys. Good night. Thanks for being on the show, Josh. Go check him out. Go check his special out, Broccoli. Go check out his stand-up. And go
Get a sucker while you do
Denver.
it.
Yeah, get a sucker, Josh Blue's Dream. And,
Amazon Prime, Josh Blue Comedy on social media.
yeah, go get him.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. I love you, man.
Man,
I'm a super fan of you, bro.
Thanks,
This is
man.
great. Cheers.